These days, there is no significant controversy for a British royal or old money aristocrat to marry a so-called commoner, i.e., someone without a royal lineage or noble blood, with everyone, from dukes to the king himself, arguably marrying for love rather than title. However, imagine you yourself are a duke or duchess, choosing your partner based on affection, believing them to be a member of the middle classes, only to discover that your future spouse secretly belongs to the old money elite by lineage. Indeed, this ironic twist of fate unfolded for Hugh Grosvenor, the Duke of Westminster, a man who was previously one of the UK's most eligible bachelors and custodian of a fortune that intertwines with the very fabric of British aristocracy. Enter Olivia Henson, the woman who captured the Duke's heart. To the public eye, Olivia presented as a talented professional with a modest background, her life story resonating with the narrative of a self-made success. However, beneath this veneer of middle-class normalcy lay a hidden truth that would astonish the circles of British high society. Olivia is not merely the accomplished commoner she appeared to be. She is, in fact, a scion of several storied old money dynasties, from legendary banking families to not one, but two dukes, on top of the one she's about to marry. In today's episode, we peel back the layers of this captivating story, diving into the world of old money traditions, marrying for love and navigating legacy within the gilded corridors of British aristocracy, as we describe the secret old money lineage of the future Duchess of Westminster. Olivia Henson's leap from the ordinary to the ornate halls of British aristocracy is like a plot lifted straight from a fairy tale, except with better food and actual castles. Born on the 1st of September 1992, Olivia initially cruised under the radar, dedicating her days to the noble cause at Belazu. And this wasn't just any food company. Belazu was the ethical gourmet stream, serving up a smorgasbord of Mediterranean delights. Think olives that had seen more sunshine than the British summer, and oils smoother than a jazz singer's voice. Olivia, as a senior account manager, was the maestro behind ensuring these culinary gems not only tickled the taste buds, but did so with a green conscience. But as the hands of fate would have it, Olivia's storyline was due for a dazzling twist. Enter Hugh Grosvenor, the 7th Duke of Westminster, a man whose very name drips with wealth and prestige. Hugh's roots dig deep into the rich soil of British history, so much so that royal blood practically flows through his veins, with King Charles III as his godfather and Prince George as his unofficial nephew. Yet, despite his royal connections and a title that could open any door in London, Hugh, or Hughie to his mates, preferred the simple joys in life. Think more beer garden than gala balls. The love saga between Olivia and Hugh unfolded quietly, blossoming over 2 years far from the media's watchful eyes. Indeed, their engagement broke the internet in April 2023, not with pomp and pageantry, but with a candid snap that screamed, "Just chilling." The big question popped at Eton Hall in Cheshire, a place oozing so much history it should have its own documentary, marked the start of their shared journey into the echelons of the uber-rich. Oh, and about those riches, Hugh's wallet is thick. We're talking a net worth of 9.8 billion, making him one of Britain's heftiest wallets on legs. This isn't just pocket change. It's the kind of wealth that buys not just luxury but entire slices of London's most elite neighbourhoods, Mayfair and Belgravia. Therefore, the Grosvenor estate isn't just vast. It's a sprawling empire that spans the most coveted patches of the city, where real estate prices make monopoly money look like a sound investment. And then there's the Eton estate, a pastoral paradise that offers a bucolic counterpoint to the urban sprawl. Now, once they're hitched, Olivia and Hugh plan to oscillate between the high life in a London flat that's close enough to Buckingham Palace to borrow a cup of sugar from the Queen, and the bucolic bliss of Eton Hall. Looking ahead, Their June nuptials are set to be the social event of the season, with Chester Cathedral playing host to a guest list sparkling with the who's who of high society, everyone from royalty to the realm's glitterati, though the Sussexes will be sending their regrets. As Olivia steps into her new role as the Duchess of Westminster, she does so with the elegance and aplomb of someone born to it, ready to trade boardroom battles for balls and philanthropy. And here's the kicker: Olivia isn't exactly the newcomer to nobility that she seems. Beneath the surface of her professional London life lies a secret twist, a lineage almost as blue-blooded as her soon-to-be husband's. Yes, amidst the whispers of high society, it turns out Olivia Henson's family tree has roots tangled in aristocracy, making her leap into the lap of luxury less of a giant stride and more of a natural step. Exploring the lineage of Olivia Henson reveals a narrative deeply intertwined with the fabric of medieval history, notably her connection to the Norman conquest. This pivotal event, which reshaped the English social and political landscape in 1066, is, interestingly, a shared heritage with her future spouse, Hugh Grosvenor, the Duke of Westminster. You see, the ancestry of Olivia, particularly through her maternal Frisby lineage, traces back to her grandfather, Simon Rollo Frisby, signifying a profound historical legacy. Furthermore, the Frisby name, with its roots in the Germanic Frisians from the contemporary Frisia region, embodies a saga of migration and settlement encapsulated in the etymology of Frisby, a fusion of Frisia, denoting the Frisian people, and Bia, an Old Norse term for farm or settlement, highlighting the family's journey from the Frisian territories to England. Now, the connection to the Norman conquest, a landmark in English history, carries significant implications for Olivia's lineage, often denoting an old money or aristocratic heritage in England. This association arises because the conquest led to a radical redistribution of land and power, favouring Norman-descended nobility and their allies. Thus, families tracing their origins to this era are often seen as part of the historical aristocracy, such as the Percy family, the Cavendish family, and of course, the Grosvenor family themselves, inheriting not just wealth, but social prestige and influence over generations. Additionally, Olivia's family narrative is enriched by a migration to Ireland, a reflection of the broader movements of English families to North American colonies during periods of political turbulence in Britain. Now, over time, the Frisby name has evolved, with variations like Frisby, Frisbee, and Frisbee emerging, showcasing the impact of Norman French, Latin, and French on English, further complicated by the era's fluid spelling practices. This etymological exploration not only charts the Frisby family's geographic origins, but also their migration, settlement, and assimilation into new cultures. In contemporary times, Frisia's relevance in northwestern Europe is evident through its culture, economy, and political influence. Frisia spans across the Wadden Sea, incorporating areas in both the northern Netherlands and Germany, and is distinguished by its unique linguistic heritage. The language West Frisian, particularly in the Netherlands, remains a vital aspect of regional identity, surviving despite the dominance of Dutch and German. And this language enjoys official recognition in Friesland, with educational support and the Friska Academy in Leeuwarden fostering its persistence. Back on Albion, the Frisby name is also linked to several locations in Leicestershire, notably Frisby on the Reek and Frisby by Galby. And the original village of Frisby, though no longer existing, once stood on the grounds of what is now Frisby Hall farmland. Following the Norman conquest of 1066, Olivia's Frisby family rose to prominence as lords of the Manor of Frisby, a status documented in the Domesday Book of 1086. This record, initiated by William the Conqueror, verifies the Frisby family's substantial land holdings and their pivotal role in the local social structure. In sum, this connection suggests a likelihood that Olivia's ancestors were acquainted with William the Conqueror, mirroring the historical ties of her future spouse's lineage. However, aristocratic ties to none other than William the Conqueror are just the start of the nobility-filled iceberg when we're talking about Olivia Henson's lineage. Let's flip over to the next chapter to find out her ancestors' legendary work in the worlds of finance and banking. Now, Olivia Henson's lineage, with ties to the illustrious Hoare banking family through her great-grandmother Angela Beryl Hoare, mother of the aforementioned Simon Rollo Frisbee, highlights a storied connection to C. Hoare & Co., the United Kingdom's oldest private banking institution. And the Hoare family's wealth, outside of Olivia's personal assets, saw an upsurge of £40 million as recently as 2019, buoyed by C. Hoare & Co.'s surging profits in the preceding year. Founded in 1672 under the emblem of the Golden Bottle, C. Hoare & Co. has the distinction of being the UK's most enduring privately owned bank, having remained under the continuous stewardship of the Hoare family for 12 generations. And the inception of Hoare's Bank is closely linked to Sir Richard Hoare, who, upon completing his apprenticeship, was awarded the Freedom of the Goldsmiths Company in July 1672. This accolade, significant within the City of London's livery companies, not only conferred certain privileges, but also signified a respected status among London's mercantile and artisan communities. Thus, Richard Hoare's establishment at the Golden Bottle in Cheapside utilised distinct signage for business identification, a common practice before the advent of street numbering. And the evolution from goldsmithing to banking was a natural progression for Richard Hoare, as goldsmiths, custodians of cash and valuables, were well positioned to develop banking services. By 1677, a significant number of goldsmiths had begun to offer banking services, leading to the establishment of running cashes or current accounts. The 18th century marked a period of prosperity for the bank, with Richard Hoare receiving a knighthood from Queen Anne in 1702 and serving as Lord Mayor of London in 1712. Following his demise, his sons Henry and Benjamin continued the business, further embedding the family's legacy within London's financial and philanthropic circles. Notable among their clients were members of the Society for the Propagation of Christian Knowledge, illustrating the bank's early integration into the fabric of London's charitable and intellectual societies. And Henry Hoare, the Magnificent, a nickname earned through his patronage of the arts and his development of the Stourhead estate, was instrumental in introducing banking innovations such as printed cheques. Under his leadership, C. Hoare & Co. not only flourished financially, but also contributed to the cultural and social landscape of the time. Therefore, Olivia Henson's secret old money lineage can also boast a connection to some of Albion's most illustrious financial groups, even if, unfortunately for her, none of that current surging cash has trickled its way into her dowry. However, if you thought simply being connected to the Norman conquest was the extent of Olivia's hidden aristocratic lineage, you'd be wrong. In the next chapter, we'll explore her ancestors' lineage as it relates to another set of dukes in merry old England. Now Olivia, through maternal lineage, shares a connection with the esteemed Dukes of Rutland, a family whose historical significance and cultural contributions have seamlessly intertwined with England's history. You see, the Manners family, from which the Dukes originate, has maintained its stature through a blend of extensive land holdings, favoured status at court, and consistent involvement in the nation's political and military spheres, marking their presence over centuries. And during the 18th century, particularly under the Whig ascendancy, the Dukes of Rutland emerged as pivotal figures. But their influence was not confined to the realm of politics alone. It extended into the social fabric through marriages that fortified their status and proximity to the monarchy. The marriage of John Manners to Lady Catherine Russell not only symbolized a union of powerful families, but also played a crucial role in elevating the earldom of Rutland to a dukedom in 1703. And their impact was equally significant in military circles. The Marquess of Granby, a notable figure in British military history, left an enduring legacy as a general during the 7 Years' War. His renown is such that his name graces more pubs across the nation than any other figure, with the exception of the Queen, a testament to his lasting popularity and influence. Additionally, in the realm of culture and arts, the Dukes of Rutland have made indelible contributions. The 9th Duke's passion for medieval art led to the meticulous restoration of Haddon Hall in Derbyshire, an exemplar of medieval architecture enhanced by Tudor modifications. Though less known than Chatsworth, Haddon Hall is celebrated as one of the most pristine medieval houses existing today. And Belvoir Castle, the ancestral home of the Dukes, stands as a cultural beacon, its majestic architecture featuring prominently in films and television, including notable appearances in The Crown. This exposure has not only highlighted the architectural elegance of the estate, but also underscored the family's enduring engagement with the cultural landscape of England. Moreover, the patronage of the arts and literature continues to be a hallmark of the Dukes of Rutland's legacy. In a notable historical gesture, the 5th Duke, John Henry Manners, commissioned a mausoleum at Belvoir Castle as both a final resting place for his family and a landmark architectural project. And the 11th Duke of Rutland, a figure of considerable wealth and influence with an estimated fortune of £125 million, has played a significant role in the current English social landscape. Known for his support of the UK Independence Party, he has leveraged Belvoir Castle as a venue for fundraising activities. Beyond politics, the Duke has engaged in various commercial ventures tied to the estate, including hosting shooting parties and weddings, demonstrating the estate's versatility in serving both traditional and contemporary societal functions. However, a recent incident in October 2023 cast a shadow over the Duke's stewardship of the land. His estate was at the centre of controversy for burning a vast expanse of moorland near Sheffield, leading to significant air pollution issues and sparking public outcry. This event prompted calls for a ban on moorland burning for grouse shooting, a practice entwined with the landed gentry's traditions. South Yorkshire's Mayor, Oliver Coppard, articulated the public's frustration and concern, highlighting a critical moment of environmental and social reckoning. However, lucky for Olivia, none of these controversies have touched her notoriety, as her connection to the Dukes of Rutland is sufficiently far removed. In short, as we can see, Olivia Henson is truly the secret old money future Duchess, and we can't wait to see how her life plays out with Hugh Grosvenor. And now, we'd like to see you in the comments. Are there any other Duchesses from the UK you'd like us to feature on this channel? We always endeavour to make our videos based on your advice, and so we'd love to hear from you. See you below, and thanks again for joining us for another episode of Old Money Luxury. Cheers, until next time.